existing remote repository we initialized from our project we've been working on. We have this here. This exists now. We can do what's called clone this remote repo from anywhere. So I can clone this. I created this initial repo, but I can still clone it, and it is there for me as backup or to work on from another machine, whatever. And those that have access to this repository, collaborators or anyone just interested in looking at that code, could also clone this repo into their own local machines. So let's just take a look into like what cloning means, like, and kind of how we can use it, and how to think of sort of these remote repositories, in maybe a different context. So I'm going to use the same example as before, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just get rid of this directory. I'm going to remove it from my local file system and maybe clone it somewhere else. And that's fine, because this entire directory, all of these HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, all of the actual project files themselves are up there, plus this Git directory, which contains all of the commits and all the branches that have occurred, all of the just Git meta information about this repo also now lives on this remote repository up there. And maybe we should note that we have our master branch up there that's accessible from here. So if I was to run a command, that just destroys that directory, like if I rm-rf myproj, oh no, just nuked my proj, it's gone. This is gone, right? I pushed this already, so the data's there, I can clone it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I guess, technically, I would have had to go back a directory. I just realized my proj, what would need to be referred to either from an absolute path or from a parent directory. So let's just say that I've changed directories and I'm now, I'm now in projects. There's no Git repo in projects. I don't see that in my command prompt. So I'm in projects. Go over here, this is projects. And I say git clone, and I use the git URL, right? So it would really look something like this, right? A HTTP string, but I have created this shorthand that's just myproj.git, so that's what it would say, myproj.git from projects, which will just drop that entire Git directory, that repo, into projects. So this is now going to say myproj. It in fact will inherit the directory name that you created from your remote repo up on GitHub. So this directory name will now be myproj, like so. But it's going to contain the same stuff. It's going to have index, my CSS file, my JavaScript file, and the Git directory. So it's on the master branch. All of the commit history, all of the merge and branch history is here. So, if I were to cd into this directory here, cd myproj, I'm in here now. I am now working in that same repo. I'm on the master branch, and I can do all the same stuff I was doing before from a different spot. So you can imagine this working from another machine, from a collaborator's machine. This is how cloning works with your initial repository that ended up on this remote repository where it becomes a shareable resource.